Hello, guys. We have Jesse, we have Danny, and we have Manga, and we're going to be reading Laughing Jack. Two different Laughing Jacks because they wanted to do a Jack week, but the other Laughing Jack is so long that we couldn't do more than two stories.
Yep.
So that's what we're going to be doing today.
So
This'll be
I'm going to
fun.
be reading regular Laughing Jack, and then they're going to be taking turns with that origin of Laughing Jack.
Because it's insanely long.
And the origin of Laughing Jack is British, so it's befitting.
Yeah.
It was a nice summer day. My 5-year-old son, James, was playing outside in the backyard of our suburban home. James has always been a quiet boy. He plays by himself mostly. He never had many friends, which is relatable to most people who watch my channel. But he has always
Definitely
had
agree, Pastor,
a
with you.
wild imagination. I was
feel
in
like-
the kitchen. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I feel like this is how these always start out. My son, or the main character, never had many friends, but they had a wild imagination. They
Is
were
there
not
any
like
story
other
that is there
people.
like any story where the guy was like insanely popular at the start?
Actually,
or was
I
it
suppose
always
there
or were
is.
they always just like social outcasts?
I thought there was one, but I can't remember right now. I'll think about it after the stream.
Yes.
Right,
Feeding
okay.
our
I
dog,
know-
Fido. So the dog's name is Dog. Good job.
You could. Why do people name dogs Fido like in every story? Is there no like fucking Rex would be better than that?
I'd rather him be
Oh, I
named
would love
Dog.
Red. Dog.
When I heard-
they know his name fucking Fievel in like American Tail, and they've always just fucking pronounced it wrong.
When
That was
I
Fido.
heard what sounded like James talking to someone in the backyard, I'm not sure who it was that he could be talking to. Could he have finally made a friend? I doubt
the
it.
back-
Nah,
Backyard?
he's just going mad.
In the backyard, that's dangerous.
Being a single mom, because apparently I'm a woman, it's hard for me to always keep an eye on my son. So I decided to go outside and check on him.
Oh boy.
When I went outside into the backyard, I was a bit confused because James was the only person back there. Was he talking to himself? Is he
Oh,
crazy?
no, he's nuts.
Is he a schizo?
He's gone nuts. he's schizo.
Maybe he's schizo.
I could have
Oh,
sworn
God,
I
the
heard another
imaginary friend.
voice. James, it's time to come inside, I called out to him. He came inside and sat down at the kitchen table. It was about lunchtime, so I decided to make him a turkey sandwich. Oh yes, that's definitely worth calling him inside for. James,
Yeah. What?
a
Gotta
turkey
feed the boy.
sandwich? He could eat
Feed
that
the
outside.
boy.
Well,
might
you
be
always put your
worried.
kid in to feed them the sandwiches when you make them.
To be
I
fair,
don't know.
she was hearing some like him talking to someone, so I don't think like just oh yeah, here's a sandwich, then leaving them outside is the best idea.
Yeah.
James,
She's
who
a
are
good
you?
mother so far. I respect that.
James, who were you talking to out there? I asked. James looked up for a moment. I was playing with my new friend, he said, smiling. I
Just
poured
saying
some...
the structure of the story is terrible because they
It
can't
is.
differentiate the paragraphs with the new speakers,
Mhm.
and that bothers me.
Yep, and I'm the one reading
Note
it.
to self.
I poured him some milk and continued to pry, as a good mother would. Women. Does your friend have a
Dylan,
name?
get off the stream.
God.
Why
Get off the
did
fucking stream.
Why didn't you ask him to
Fuck
have
out of
lunch
here,
with
you
us?
Absolute bitter prick.
I asked.
Good mother of
Good
women.
parenting. What a problem.
How dare you pry into your kid's life all the time? He has an imaginary
Objection
friend.
100.
He has an imaginary
You could be
friend.
talking
It's
to a
normal.
pedo in the back garden. You gotta protect
How
your
is there a
heard the
pedo in your
voice.
back garden?
I
There
know
are
the ending.
freaks walking around the neighborhood. You don't know who he
You
could have
guys
been
are
talking to.
paranoid.
No, I nearly got
I'm
taken
sure the
away
end
as
of the
a
story
kid.
will make us less paranoid with what happens.
Oh
but let's
yes,
keep
because the
going.
magical clown man's gonna kill him. Very practical story.
Do not watch it.
Exactly.
James stared at me for a moment for replying. His name is Laughing Jack. I was a bit taken back by what he had said. Oh, that's a strange name. Yeah, who names their kid Jack? What does your friend look like?
You asshole.
I asked a
Oh.
bit confused. Well, what's the weird part of that? Laughing or Jack? Like, that's not a weird name, really. I asked a bit confused. He's a clown. He has long hair and a big swirly cone nose. He's got long arms and baggy pants with striped socks. and he always smiles. I
Okay, to be
realized
fair, I don't think a kid would describe that much.
No,
Here's
you
his-
don't know.
here's
You
his
don't
OC bio sheet, Mom.
You
Read up.
basically-
Basically.
I
Hey,
real-
artists, go nuts.
I
It's the
realized-
Undertale OC. Like, that's what they typically look like.
I realized my son was talking about an imaginary friend or a backyard pedophile. I suppose it was normal for kids his age to have imaginary friends, especially when he has no real kids or real friends. It's probably
Oh, no.
just a
So
phase.
mean.
Not a phase, Mom.
It doesn't seem like she's trying to help him make friends. Play in the
Well,
backyard
To be fair,
all
what was
day,
it- what's a parent
loser.
supposed to do there?
Play in the backyard all day. You'll meet friends back here.
You can be friends with the fucking hedgehogs. Disgusting
Yeah.
furry.
She had stuff to do at home.
Yeah,
couldn't
but
just
she
let him,
could-
Here you go, son. Go walk out
She
into
could
the
schedule.
street.
She
Go
could
find
schedule.
a friend.
She could schedule a play date or something if she's really that concerned with him not having friends.
Maybe,
Maybe
he's like
no one was
autistic and no one
available.
likes him.
Wow.
Oh my god,
That's-
wouldn't that be some
Oh.
shit?
That is,
Oh.
but that's normally how like these kids go. Like it's like they get outcast by the other
Okay,
kids.
alright, so like if the kid was autistic, that like OC fucking bio would actually make a bit more sense.
It does.
Because, you know, they do tend to go into a bit more detail.
The rest of
Yeah.
the day
Aw.
went by as per usual,
Oh.
and it started to get late, so I put James to bed. I tucked him in and gave him a kiss, and made sure to turn on his nightlight. You know, they haven't been mentioning his dad. Maybe this is fatherless
He
behavior.
said single. She
He
said
said
she's
single
a single
mom.
mom.
Yeah, but the dad's not in his life at all?
That's normally how
No,
it
I
goes with
suppose
single
not.
parents.
Wow. I closed the door. I was pretty tired myself, so I decided to go to bed not long after. I had an awful nightmare. It was dark. I was in some kind of rundown amusement park. I was scared. Running through an endless field of empty tents, broken down rides, and abandoned game huts. The whole place had a horrid look to it. Everything was black and white. The prized stuffed animals hung from nooses. And they had hyper-realistic blood. No,
Don't they,
in the
don't they
game
normally
huts.
hang them from nooses? Like they always hang them from nooses in like the actual amusement parks.
Yeah.
To be fair, that is true.
All with sick grins stitched in their faces. It felt like the whole park was looking at me. I'm not paranoid, you are! Even though there wasn't another living thing in sight. Then suddenly, I began to hear music play. The sound of Pop Goes the Weasel being played on a squeeze box echoed through the park. I don't know what that is. It was hypnotizing. I followed its tune to the circus tent, almost in a trance, unable to stop my legs from moving around. It was pitch black.
Oh boy.
The only light came from a single spotlight shining in the center of the big top. As I walked towards the light, the music slowed down. I found myself singing along, unable to stop.
Sing,
Do you
Dylan,
know the
sing.
song? Do you know the song?
I don't. I know the song, but not for the reason you think I know it. I know it because of fucking
Oh.
the fucking Weasel cartoon show. You know,
Oh, okay.
Do
remember
you know
that?
it, Danny? Oh, sorry.
We all know Pop Goes the Weasel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I thought if you. I was wondering if any of you knew the tune to sing it.
Everyone
I
does.
know it.
All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought 'twas all in fun. The music stopped right before the climax, and
Yay.
suddenly
Very
the
nice.
light
Yay.
shot on. The intensity of the lights was practically blinding. All I could see was small dark silhouette shuffle towards me. Then another appeared, and another, and another.
Oh.
There were dozens of them, all coming towards me. I couldn't move. My legs were frozen. All I could do was watch as the haunting figures drew nearer. As they got closer, I could see they were children. As I looked at
In
each
all
one, I
caps.
noticed they were all horribly disfigured. Wow, way to be a cunt about it. And mutilated. Some had cuts all over their body. Others were severely burnt. And others were missing limbs. Even eyes. The children enveloped me, clawing at my flesh, dragging me to the ground, and
Ugh.
tearing inside me. As the children
Oh,
tore
boy.
me apart, I faded away. All I could hear was laughing. Horrible, awful, evil laughter.
Sounds like a nightmare, yeah.
Yeah.
I woke up the next
pretty
morning
good.
in a cold sweat. After taking a few breaths, I looked over and saw that a few of James' action figures were positioned facing me on top of the nightstand. I sighed. James had probably woken up early and put these here. I gathered up his toys and made my way to James' room. However, when I opened the door, James was sound asleep. I just shrugged and placed all the toys back in his toy box and headed out to the living room. A little while later, James woke up and I made him breakfast. He was quiet and seemed a bit groggy. Perhaps he didn't sleep well either. I decided to ask him about the toys. James, honey, did you put the toys in Mommy's room this morning? His eyes shot up at me for a moment, then quickly glanced back down at his cereal. Laughing Jack did it. I rolled my eyes and
Oh,
responded,
no.
Well, you tell Laughing Jack to keep the toys in your room. James nodded and then finished his breakfast, then decided to play in the backyard.
Alright, so
Hello-
far so good.
I went to relax in the living room, and I must have dozed off because when I woke up a couple hours later, I went to relax in the living room, and I must have dozed off because I woke a couple hours later. Shit! I need to go check on James. I was a bit worried. It had been over 2 hours, and I haven't checked on him. I went and stepped out of the backyard, but James wasn't there anymore. I was getting nervous and called out for him. James! James, where are you? Just then,
She's like, oh shit, I'm
I-
a parent. Fuck.
just then I heard a giggle coming from the front yard. I rushed through the gate, around the front of the house. James was sitting on the sidewalk. James, you're not allowed to be out in public! What have I told you? Get back in the
Your
backyard, you friendless freak!
It's like the
It will always
Hunchback
be a
of Notre
freak. It will always be above you.
It's like fucking Hunchback of Notre Dame.
They will never see you. You must never leave the bell tower.
I am your only friend.
Friend.
I breathed a
You
sigh.
are ugly.
I breathed a sigh of relief as I walked over to him. James, how many times have I told you? Stay in the backyard! James, what are you eating? James
Dog
looked up
shit.
at me, then reached into his pocket and pulled out a handful of hard candies in all colors. This made
Oh.
me very nervous. James,
Uh-oh.
who gave you that candy? James just stared at me, not speaking. James, please tell Mommy, where did you get the candy? James
He's
hung his
drunk.
head down and said, Laughing Jack gave it to me.
Edo.
My heart sank. I kneeled down and took him and looked at him in the eye. James, I've had enough of this damn Laughing Jack thing. He's not real. Now, this is a very serious situation, and I need to know who gave you the candy. I could see my son's eyes tear up because I was being way too harsh at him. But Mama, Laughing Jack did give me the candy. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath because I've got anger issues. I wonder why my husband left. James has never lied to me. But
Whoa, no. Parents are fucking
Mother of the Year leaves him in the backyard all day, falls asleep, forgets where he's at, and then yells at him. Mother
She
of
is a
the Year.
Single mother.
This
A
story was
single
written by a
mother.
man. just saying.
Bad mother.
This story
Bad
was written by a man
mother.
with lots of
She
issues.
is a single
It
mother
shows.
doing her fucking best.
Yeah, not good enough.
This is not a realistic representation.
Oh my god.
What
we're
he's
not
telling
doing
me is
Boy.
impossible. Give me the candy. I close my. Oh, wait, I already read that. I make him spit out the candy and I throw the rest away. James appears to be fine. Maybe I'm just overreacting. After all, he could have gotten it from Tom and Linda from next door, or Mr. Walker down the street. I don't trust that man, but it wouldn't be that bad. Either way, I'm going to have to
Ugh.
keep a closer eye on James. I'm installing the security cameras all in the house tonight to keep an eye on him, and I'll switch between the cameras to be sure no one's sneaking up on him at any time. But I have to be careful because the power might run out. That night, I put James to bed as usual and decided to go to bed myself early.
Yeah, okay, love. It's nice to be wrong.
Suddenly, I was woken up by a loud bang coming from the kitchen. No one has banged in this house in a long time. I sprung out of bed and hurried down the stairs. When I got to the kitchen, I was horrified. Everything on the counters had been thrown to the floor, and our dog, Fido, was hung dead from the light fixture.
I mean, we haven't seen Fido the whole story.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
Fido
mentioned once, and
exists.
now he's dead.
Oh,
Dogs
this
and
is the
refrigerators.
story.
We
Okay,
should've
this
known.
I've like heard like constant like fucking like stories of like, oh yeah, there's one creepypasta has the one thing where it's like all the dogs killed, so they're fucking shock
To
value,
be
and
fair,
this is the story.
To be fair, it's a horror trope, and it's happened in plenty of other horror movies and stories of either the dog or the cat being mutilated. It is very common. It's not just
Right.
this story being edgy. It is a common trope.
This just happens to be the worst version of it.
Oh yeah, being hung up from the ceiling. Yeah, that's way too over the top. Like maybe if he was like thrown on the floor, that would be
Stuffed
different.
with cat-
Yes. His stomach was cut open and stuffed with candy, the same type
Yeah,
that
ooh.
James was eating earlier that day. My shock was
Okay,
quickly
calm
broken
down.
by a sharp scream coming from James' room, followed by loud crashes. I quickly grabbed a knife from the drawer and moved upstairs with the speed only a mother whose child is in danger could have. I burst through the
Fair.
door and flicked on the lights. Everything in the room was knocked over and tossed onto the floor. My poor son was in his bed crying and shaking with fear. A pool of urine stains the sheets. I scooped up my
Aw.
child and ran out of the house and went next door to Tom and Linda's house. They're important now. Luckily, they were still awake. They let me use their phone and called the police. It didn't take them long to arrive because it's America and I'm a white woman in danger. And I explained what had happened. They looked at me as if I was crazy. They searched the house, but all they found was a dead dog and 2 trashed rooms. The officer told me that someone had probably gotten into the house and done this right before making a quick escape. When they heard me coming up the stairs, I knew it wasn't true. All the doors were locked. No one can get through a locked door, and none of the windows were open. Whatever was in my house didn't come from outside.
I like how the officer, yeah, it's not that much of a big deal. It's like, yeah, one of those trashed rooms you forgot to mention was, yeah, your son's fucking room.
She looks at
Attempted
James.
murder.
She looks at James.
Attempted
You're
murder.
sus, son. Where were you when the dog died? I'm ready to eject you. The next day, James stayed inside. I didn't want him to leave my sight,
not have
so I
school?
handcuffed him to me. I went into the garage and found his old baby monitor. Oh, you thought the camera thing was a joke, and set it up in his room. If anything comes into his room tonight, I was going to be able to hear it. I went to the kitchen and grabbed the largest knife from the drawer and put it on my nightstand, imaginary friend or not. I'm not letting anything hurt my little boy. Soon enough, night came.
Fair.
I put James to bed. He was afraid, but I promised him that I wasn't going to let anything happen to him. I tucked him in and gave him a kiss, and turned on the nightlight before closing the door. I whispered to him, "Good night, James. I love you." I tried to
Good
stay
mother.
up as long as I could, but after a few hours I felt myself drifting off. My baby would be safe for the night, and I needed to sleep. Just as I lay my head on the pillow, I heard a soft noise coming from the baby monitor I had put on the nightstand. At first, it sounded like interference, like some kind of radio would make. Then it turned to a soft moan. Was James asleep? Then I heard it. The laugh from my nightmare. That horrible laugh. I sprung up from the bed and grabbed the knife from under my pillow. I thought it was somewhere else a second ago. Under your pillow is not a good idea. I rushed over to James' room and creaked the door open. I tried the light switch, but it wouldn't come on. I took a step in, and I could feel the warm, thick liquid on my feet. Suddenly, James' nightlight came on, and I could see the absolute horror laid out in front of me. James'
read
body
off.
was nailed onto the wall, the nails piercing through his hands and feet.
Oh.
They crucified that kid. His
Oh my
chest was cut
God.
wide open, and his organs hung down onto the floor.
Ugh.
His eyes and tongue have been removed, along with most of his teeth. It was disgusting. That's why I wrote it. I could hardly believe this was my baby boy. Then I heard it again. The soft, desperate moan. James was still alive. My baby, my poor
What the
baby,
fuck?
in so much
Oh, that's
pain,
disgusting.
barely clinging to life. I ran
Ugh.
across the room and vomited on the floor, but my sickness was interrupted by a horrible cackle coming from behind me. I spun around while still wiping bile from my mouth. Then, out of the shadows, emerged the fiend responsible for this horror, Laughing Jack. His ghost
Hello.
white skin and matted black hair hung down his shoulders. He had piercing white eyes surrounded by dark black rings. His twisted smile revealed a sharp row of jagged teeth. And his skin didn't look like skin at all. It was almost like rubber or plastic. He wore a patchy black and white. We already described this, so I'm gonna skip it. His body itself was grotesque. His long arms hanging down past his waist. We already described this too. He was poised. The way he was poised made him look almost boneless, like a rag doll. He let out a sickening laugh, as if to let me know he was pleased with my reaction to his work. He then turned around slowly in front of James and began to laugh. Even more horrific sight he has laid out. That was enough to shake me from my terror. I snapped, "Get away from my son, you bastard!" I rushed at the monster, raising my knife above my head, and stabbed down at him. But as soon as the knife touched him, he disappeared in a cloud of black smoke. The knife phased right through him and pierced James' still beating heart, splashing
what
the
the
warm blood on my face.
Oh. Ugh.
Ugh.
No, what have I done? My baby. I killed my baby. I immediately fell to my knees. I could hear the sirens in the distance growing louder. My boy, my sweet baby boy. I promised Mommy would protect you, but I failed. I'm sorry, James. I'm so sorry. Police soon arrived to find me in front of my son, still wielding the knife, covered in my baby's blood. The trial was short. Insanity. I was placed in how do you say that?
Repopolis?
Furopolis house for the criminally insane, where I have been
like a
for the
fucking
past
prison
2
cell.
months. It was not so bad here. The only reason I'm awake now is because someone is playing Pop Goes the Weasel outside my window. I'll talk to the orderlies about it in the morning.
Oh, okay.
And that's the story.
It's not bad.
It's
Not
not,
too
yeah, it's not
bad.
bad. It's just the writing could have been better, like the layout.
It's a
Yeah.
bit edgy. It's a bit edgy. I feel like some of the things.
That death scene was very fucking graphic.
The
Yeah.
fact
They didn't need to overdo like the fucking like kid being tortured. I
I-
think mother was just gonna kill him like that.
I think the thing that really disappoints me about the kid being tortured is the fact that they already insinuated throughout all of it that the candy was important, but the kid wasn't stuffed with candy. Like
Oh god.
Chekhov's gun, the kid needed to be stuffed with candy. That's my big
There's also-
complaint with the story.
Yeah, there's also the case where like Fido was like briefly mentioned and then he just was forgotten, and then the next time you see him, boom, he's dead.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
could have mentioned that
if
he
you have-
played with the dog or something.
Yeah, if you have a
Yeah.
dog in your house, it adds a lot of life to the household. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't just disappear and do
Or
nothing.
it's like, oh, Fido slept at my side or something, you know, like something small to make Fido like more involved in the story.
The dog's in the backyard with the kid. He starts barking at something, you know, like things like that.
Yeah, like, you know, because dogs always like bark at fucking danger and shit. It's like, why is Fido barking? Like, there's nothing there.
But overall, I think that the story is just short enough to where even though it's very basic and kind of predictable, it's still good. Like it's not
It's
like
fine.
overly drawn out like Sonic.exe 2 or the remake of Sonic.exe. It's just a nice short little story. Could it be better? Yeah. But I like Laughing Jack and I have a lot of nostalgia for this story. So like I think the story isn't that bad.
I'm glad I missed it in my youth.
Okay,
I
now
missed
you
nothing.
guys get the one that I like less, the origin of Laughing Jack, because I didn't really like this one. I read it when it came out, and I was not a fan.
Oh boy. Alright,
Who wants to go where?
Didn't you say you wanted to go first, Jack?
Yeah, sure.
Whatever you want, anyway.
Yeah, okay. It's Christmas Eve in snowy 1800s. Okay, I already know where this is going.
Oh, fuck's sake.
London. No, fuck my life. It's Christmas Eve in snowy 1800s London, England, and in a small house at the edge of town, there lived a lonely 7-year-old boy named Isaac. No one's gonna know why you're laughing. That's the sad
That's
thing.
even better.
That's even better.
Isaac was a sad child with not a friend to his name. Almost. Stop.
Sorry.
For fuck's sake.
Can I plug? Can I plug?
Fine. You allowed, Dylan? Are we allowed to plug?
Plug in.
Go for it. I don't care.
I plugged.
Fuck's sake. Alright,
You
let's
plugged?
see
Where's the
what-
plug?
Sorry about
in
it.
the
Keep
fucking
reading.
chat.
Oh, okay, never mind.
While most children were spending time with their families and eagerly looking forward to opening the presents that were gifted with care beneath a beautifully decorated Christmas tree, little Isaac spent his most holy of nights alone in his cold, dusty attic room.
You could say
Isaac's
it was the
parents.
binding of Isaac.
Isaac's parents were very poor. His mother was a strict crow of a woman who stayed at home and schooled Isaac. You're not woman. His father worked long hours down at the London harbour to support his family, although a large portion of his earnings went towards purchasing and consuming copious amounts of alcohol at the end of his shift. Sometimes he would come home drunk, after being thrown out of every bar in London, and shouted at his beloved wife, Isaac's mother. Occasionally it would escalate. Beloved, yeah. Occasionally it would escalate to violence, and he would beat her savagely. Then when he was
Beloved.
done, he'd force himself upon her in a drunken, sexual rage.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I
Lovely.
don't like
Lovely.
this version. I don't like this story at all. Like, the story is like
value,
10
let's
times
go.
worse than the first one.
I mean, it is unfortunately realistic for the time.
Oh, yeah.
As it so happens, this particular night was one of those occasions. Isaac just remained quiet, quivering beneath his soiled bed sheets until the screams and loud bangs subsided. Once poor frightened Isaac was finally able to fall asleep, he'd dream of what it would be like to have a friend to play with, so maybe he could laugh and be happy like the other children of London. Luckily for little Isaac, this Christmas Eve marked a big change, when his abysmal loneliness caught the attention of a guardian angel, who then crafted a very special gift for the sad little London boy.
Angels
As-
exist in this world?
Yes, that's why I said this sequel really fucking bothers me, because it introduces a bunch of shit when the first story was left perfectly ambiguous for you to decide if the mom is crazy or if monsters exist. But then the sequel is just like, nah, angels are real, monsters are real, Jesus is real, heaven's real, deal with it.
Most importantly, Isaac is real. Anyways. As the sun rose on
Ooh.
that Christmas morning, Isaac opened his eyes to find a strange wooden box sitting at the front of his bed. With eyes widened in awe, he stared at the colorful handcrafted box, wondering who had left it. He was not used to receiving gifts, especially toys. You know, the toys you would have are a bit different. What little
Oh.
toys Isaac did have were ones... Come on, I had to make one joke about that. He'd found abandoned in the street or washed up in the gutters. Not gonna say anything there. Isaac scooted
God.
up to the foot of his bed in front of the mysterious box and picked it up with both hands. The box was beautifully painted in colorful styles, with carvings of happy clown faces on the side. There was a tag on the box that simply read, "For Isaac." On the top of the box was an engraved text. Isaac squinted his eyes as he sounded out the words. Laughing Jack in the box, he paused. Laughing Jack in a box? Isaac had heard of a Jack-in-the-Box, but never a laughing Jack-in-the-Box. What's the fucking difference? His mind spun with curiosity as he grasped the
Off-brand.
boxes. The Chinese
He's
knockoffs.
off-brand. He's like, fuck this is a knockoff.
It's the fucking Chinese knockoffs that they had back in the day. His mind spun with curiosity as he grasped the box's metal crank. Isaac turned the crank, and the song Pop Goes the Weasel chimed in rhyme with the crank's gyrations. Yeah, okay, that's the word. As the song came to its climax, Isaac sang along with the final verse. Pop goes the weasel. But nothing happened.
Oh.
Isaac let out a sigh. It's broken.
Aw.
Jack in the Box. It's broken.
I'm sorry. Oh no. Oh, Jack in the Box. It's broken.
Oh my god.
He played. He placed the box back down on the edge of the bed and shuffled across his small, dusty room to his dresser, where he changed out of his soiled sleepwear and into his usual tattered clothes.
Sorry.
You finished? Okay. Suddenly, Isaac. Suddenly. We good? Are we good? Okay.
Ignore her. She's gonna be doing that for like 10 more minutes. Just keep reading over her.
Okay.
Sorry, carry on.
Suddenly, Isaac heard a loud rattling noise coming from the bed behind him. He
Oh.
spun around to witness the wooden box violently shaking. Then, without warning, the top of the box swung open, and a parade of colorful smoke and confetti bellowed out. Isaac rubbed his eyes in disbelief of what he was seeing. As the smoke cleared, there stood a tall, thin, multicolored clown man with bright red hair, a swirly rainbow-colored cone nose, and feathery shoulders that stood atop his raggedy and colorful clown outfit. We found the colorful pedophile. The technicolor clown spread his arms and excitedly said, "Come one, come all, whether big or small, to see the best clown of them all. The one, the only, laughing Jack in a Box."
Does that hurt your throat?
No.
Oh.
Isaac's eyes lit up. Who are you? He asked.
I wonder who I could be. What name does it say on the fucking box, kid?
And
I
what have
got
I
a
just
bright
said?
one.
What did I
What
just
did I
say?
just say?
I found someone who's illiterate.
My name's Joe.
What is with you 1800s kids and not getting your education?
I'm fucking Bugs Bunny. Who do you think
Did you
I
take
am?
that from your dad? Anyways.
Oh.
The colorful Carney, what a word, stepped down off the bed and with a happy grin said, "I'm glad you asked. I'm Laughing Jack, your new friend for life. I'm magical. I never get tired of playing. Oh my. I'm a whiz at the accordion. I adapt and develop with your own changing personality. In other words, whatever you like, I like."
Oh,
Isaac.
oh, Jack.
Come on, it's right here.
Oh my god.
Oh, goodness. Isaac looked up at the mysterious clown man. We're friends? He stuttered. Jack looked at the boy while cocking an eyebrow. Friends? We're best friends! I was specially created to be your not-so-imaginary friend, Isaac! Isaac's jaw dropped. You know my name? Jack let out a whimsical laugh. Of course I know your name. I know everything about you. So, now that the introductions are out of the way, how would you like to play a game of I Spy? Isaac grinned from ear to ear. Really? We can play games? I'd love to. Oh. He paused. I can't. I have to go downstairs to see Mother for homeschooling and chores. His smile
I
faded.
think the
to a
person
look
who
of
wrote
disappointment.
this has mommy issues.
Really, I couldn't tell. His smile faded into a look of disappointment. A look disappointment. Great grammar there, buddy. Jack placed his hand on Isaac's shoulders. Don't do that. And with a warm smile said, "It's okay. I'll be waiting right here for you when you get back." Lovely. Isaac's smile returned as he looked up at his new friend. Just then, he heard his mother's shrill voice coming him from downstairs. "Well, I gotta go. I'll see you after I'm done, okay, Jack?" he said as he headed toward the door. Jack smiled. "Absolutely, kiddo. Oh, and Isaac?" Isaac looked back at Jack, who gave him a wink, don't do that, and said, "You should wear that smile more often. It suits you." Isaac grinned happily as he turned out and walked out the door.
This is a good place to switch.
Yes.
Go forth.
Jesse, you can go. But also, just gonna say, I like that they're separating the dialogue, but they're separating it too much now.
I know, it's making my eyes
It's
go
every
wonky.
single
It's
sentence.
easier to read for me, to be honest, so I don't
No,
really
no,
care.
it is. I prefer this over like the walls of text, but it's like every single sentence for the same character is like separated. When it should
And
be one line.
yes, we're aware that we are late. Yesterday, everyone was fucking sick. Today, everyone is less sick. So you're dealing with
Right.
Pasta Saturday.
At least half of the chat is sick. So.
Yep.
Sorry, I've lost it again. Where were we up to?
All day Isaac killed his
all
mother.
day, Isaac.
Where did my... What the hell?
Are you on the right one?
We're up to...
Danny, you read before. Yeah.
No,
you
no.
can go next.
Okay, then fine. Sorry, Danny.
No, it says just go to All Day Isaac. You'll get
Oh,
more.
there
ones
it
if
is.
you can't find
Sorry.
it, Yeah.
It's because of the fucking... Maybe I'm different. I can't deal with the black
Built
background and white
different.
text.
I'm just built different.
Guys, I'm not like the other girls. I
my
can't read.
I can't see white text.
Jesse, use your empath skills to learn reading from
Oh.
fucking manga.
As an empath, I can feel that this Laughing Jack fellow is a little sus as an empath.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Anyway, all day Isaac told his mother about the amazing colourful clown man who came out of a magical box that appeared on the foot of his bed. His mother, however, did not believe a word of it. Finally, he persuaded his mother to follow him up to his room so she could behold Laughing Jack for herself. Behold.
Look, Mom,
Behold,
a clown.
Pedo man in my
A
room.
man inside my room, yeah. The mother's like, what the fuck?
They walked up the stairs and Isaac swung open the door to his room. See, Mother? He's right, Isaac paused as he scanned the room that contained neither magical dancing... Sorry, what?
Neither
As he
magical
scanned
dancing
the-
clown man. Great
That
description.
contained neither magical dancing clown man nor mysterious wooden box. Isaac's mother was not amused. She gave Isaac a glare so menacing it made his knees weak and his stomach sick.
Oh, good description.
Oh boy. Mother's angry.
But Mother, he was... Did that register on my mic? Oh, thank you, Jack. Isaac's mother delivered unto him a swift, hard smack across the arse of face.
What? What? I mean, it's Britain.
It is
To be
Britain.
fair, yeah. Fucking Brits.
His eyes began to tear up and his lip began to quiver as he could feel himself about to break down. You stupid, insolent child! How dare you lie to me about such childish idiocy? Who would want to be friends with a useless worm such as you? You shall remain in your room for the rest of the evening, and you shall receive no dinner. Now, what do you say, you ungrateful wretch? Quasimodo!
Okay, this is. I'm just gonna say this is the most
Basis
weirdest.
female Frollo.
This is the weirdest reaction. Like even like, no matter how bad she's behaving, right? Like who reacts like that about like a dancing clown man?
That was
Abusive.
Does she
way
want
too
to see?
fucking- that was,
She
like, way
wants
too
to see a
fucking
dancing clown man in that fucking room. Like what does she want?
Yeah, like...
To be fair,
Yeah, do I want to
This is the
do I
eight-
want to have my son associated with a pedophile?
I mean, back then, lying was a big deal, even if it was something
Oh,
really
right.
stupid.
it's the 1800s as
Okay.
well. If you, like, this shit could get you sent to an asylum.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Are
Like,
you serious?
yeah. Back then, if you said anything crazy like that, you could be locked up forever.
Oh,
cool.
would either-
I want to go.
You don't want to go. Half the time, they'll just fucking stick a sickle up your head and then hammer till they think your brain is fixed.
Oh, stop.
Cool.
Oh.
I want to go.
Daddy, stop.
I want to go.
Fucking
Anyway.
trap and altered. Anyways, go ahead.
And it's a whole lot worse if you're a woman in an insane asylum.
No, it's a whole lot better. The
They'd make you
action.
go insane for something else.
Daddy.
Anyways, Jesse, go on.
anyway. Isaac managed to swallow the knot in his throat in order to mutter a reply. Thank you, Mom. His mother glared down at him for a moment before leaving the room in disgust. Isaac kneeled over, burying his face in the side of his bed. Streams of tears ran down his cheeks as he began to weep. What's wrong, kiddo? A voice called out. Isaac looked over to the edge of the bed, where Laughing Jack was now suddenly sitting beside him.
Just fucking Lava just pointed out in the chat on the mother point, like she talks too posh for a family that's meant to be poor, and that's kind of true.
Oh,
Yeah.
she uses
okay,
very
should
big
I be-
words.
Okay, should I be doing a
She wouldn't
Cockney
call
accent?
she wouldn't-
It's not the accent; it's the actual
No,
words. Like, insolent child. It sounds way too.
It's a
snobbish.
fucking.
You
It's an
stupid,
American.
insolent child! How dare you lie to me?
It's an American
doing,
writing for. It's an American writing for British people, not realizing poor British people talk different.
Yeah.
basically.
The level of fucking vocabulary poor British people have is not exactly great.
Oh,
We wouldn't say insolent for anything.
Yeah. Back then, if you were too emotional and you were a woman, it was called mass hysteria, and you could be institutionalized for that.
Let's go.
It is a miracle humanity survived past the fucking 1800s. Genuinely.
I think I'm gonna sneeze. Am I gonna sneeze?
Like, just being an emotional woman could get you in trouble.
Jesus.
Oh, but the man that's screaming and like raping his wife. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
That's who the patriarchy.
He's-
Hate to say
he's-
it, but
he's not too. He's not,
hate to
he's
say
not
it,
too
but there was a
emotional.
patriarchy at one point in history.
And it was
the
a
one time
nightmare.
when it was real.
Anyway,
Go on.
Isaac looked over to the edge of the bed where Laughing Jack was now suddenly sitting beside him. Where were you? Jack murmured. I forgot how to do a Cockney
Jack
accent.
murmured.
Isaac murmured.
Oh, sorry, Isaac murmured.
Jake murmured.
Stop. Stop it. Stop. Don't you dare.
Jack
The chat doesn't get it, but fuck you,
but we do, and that's what's important.
assholes.
Oh. Jack ran his hand through Isaac's hair to comfort him.
Don't do that.
Why? God,
Don't do
that's the
that.
sad.
I
That's
need
where we've
an
got to
adult.
now.
I am an adult.
Well, funny you should say that. I am an adult.
I was hiding. I can't let your parent. Oh, sorry, it's him. Fuck.
Fuck.
Oh my god.
Your
the
genuine
voice fucking Jack?
voice. I love Jesse's genuine voice there. Fuck.
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 I was hiding. I can't let your parents see me, otherwise they won't let us play anymore.
Good.
Isaac wiped. Hmm? Oh,
Good.
Isaac
Meet
wiped
my
the
child.
tears from his eyes. Look, kiddo, I'm sorry I had to hide, but I'll make it up to you. Because tonight we can play games and we'll have tons of fun.
Jack said dying.
Just-
It was,
Jack-
they saw that Jack had a
Smoking.
bullet hole to the chest.
Jack said smoking.
He's smoking out of those like fucking fancy like long cigarettes, you know.
Yes. Well, this was the opium epidemic, like, era.
True,
you know.
true.
Nah.
Jack said smoking out of his weird pipe.
That was like fucking Curly and Chick is a clown.
Isaac looked up at this vibrant pal and silently nodded, as a little smile began to form in the corners of his mouth. That night, Laughing Jack and Isaac played so many fun games. With the wave of his hand, Jack made all of Isaac's tin soldiers spring to life and march around the room. Aww.
Your accent got very strong there.
That wasn't even
With the
your
way-
accent. That was my
with the
accent you
way-
were doing. What the fuck?
I
With a
don't
wave of his hand, Jack made all
Dying.
Isaac's tin soldiers spring to life and
Dying.
march around the room. Help, pal.
I just can't function anymore.
Poor
He's
Jesse.
getting to the British spirit of this story.
Isaac was amazed as he watched his toys move around the room on their own. Then Laughing Jack and Isaac told each other spooky ghost stories.
Oh my.
Isaac
just-
asked Jack if he...
I'm just laughing because I know the direction that this story takes, so I'm not fucking
Oh,
telling you
really?
guys.
Oh
And don't-
god. If there's some demon possessing shit, I swear to fucking Christ.
just don't make him cave. Just keep reading.
Okay. Isaac asked Jack if he was a ghost, but Jack explained that he was more of a cosmic entity.
Hello,
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu. Hello,
For
Cthulhu.
fuck's sake.
Someone read
Sorts.
Lovecraft.
At the end of the night, Jack reached into his pocket and pulled out an assortment of delicious candy.
Wait a second. How could
Don't
he
do that.
expect a kid in the 1800s to know what cosmic entities are?
H.P. Lovecraft. I don't know.
It's
H.P.
easier
Lovecraft
to-
wasn't around in the 1800s.
It's easier to just say I'm an angel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because they believed angels back then. Yeah, cosmic
I
entities.
don't
was
massively
there.
know.
Christian.
Did they
Maybe
even know what
Laughing
fucking
Jack was the
space was
first-
back then?
They
Laughing
did.
They
Jack
knew
was-
what space was, but they didn't understand it.
They didn't
Yeah,
know.
there we
go,
They
that's
didn't
what
have
I
like a
meant.
thing about aliens. I don't think.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
cosmic
okay.
entities.
Guys, Laughing
Got it.
Jack was the first atheist.
I'm not God, I'm an atheist.
I am God.
Oh,
Isaac
A weird
wasn't.
blue hedgehog is gonna steal that quote.
Isaac was taking ecstasy when he popped the first colourful
Well, opium. Let's go.
As it was his first time tasting something so sweet, Isaac had
Don't
so
say
much
that.
fun. You're
Go on,
making
yeah,
me
go on.
sad. You're making me so sad. Isaac had so much fun and laughed so hard that night that things seemed to be finally looking up for little Isaac. At least until the Fire Nation attacked 3
oh my
months.
god.
Now, that's a
Okay,
joke I haven't heard in years.
switch to Danny.
Oh,
Sick.
grand. It was pleasantly warm and sunny in
Wow, that
London
was
that
strong.
day.
Oh,
you.
we're
Which
getting
was
there.
a bit of a rarity. So, with the help of a certain non-so-imaginary friend, Isaac was able to finish his chores early and was allowed to go outside and play for a bit. Things started simply enough. The duo were back behind the house playing pirates. Yes! When
Oh, Sirens!
playing Sea of Thieves!
Yes!
Yes!
Man,
Is
playing
Isaac-
Sea of Thieves with Jack, unrelatable.
Wow.
Wow,
Isaac-
asshole.
guys, No, it'll be especially unrelatable if Jack doesn't remember to bring a sword.
Wow,
If Jack has a
thanks.
sword, I'm quitting. When Isaac spotted the neighbor's cat sneaking into their garden. What? What does that say? Yeah.
Yarg!
Yarg!
We got an enemy spy off the starboard bow. Starboard bow? Is that the name of a ship? Okay.
Yarg! We got an
Yeah, the
enemy
starboard
spy off
bow.
the
No.
starboard bow.
Wow.
That means like the left or the right or something. I don't know.
I don't speak.
I don't
need
speak
to learn
pirate either.
language.
It means
Also,
like
I find
the left
I-
or the right.
I'm sorry to
Sorry.
interrupt for a second, but like the fucking last night he was fucking taking candy. He was like laughing off. He was off his fucking head. He
Oh,
had to
yeah.
have been
He's-
off his fucking
He's
head.
on ecstasy. You heard me say
Yeah.
it.
He,
He
he's
was
off
dead
his
ass.
fucking
It was
rocker.
at that moment that they realized the candy caused the hallucinations.
Whoa. No way.
Yeah, we got an enemy off the starboard bow, Isaac yelled, captivated by fantasy and imagination. Yo,
Aw.
well, gets him, Captain Isaac! Exclaimed First Mate Jack, in his best hearty pirate accent. Laughing Jack's arm stretched out across the garden and snatched the unsuspecting feline. It began to struggle quite vigorously.
Huh?
Because the cat's there.
Oh yeah, the cat. Sorry, I forgot.
The cat is evil. Don't let him get away, Jackie, or I'll make you walk the plank. Isaac antagonized. Okay. Jack's grip on the cat tightened, and his arms grew and extended like anacondas,
Very
wrapping themselves
specific.
around the
My
wily feline.
anaconda, don't.
Stop.
My anaconda, don't!
There be a spy among us. Make them walk the plank.
Wrapping themselves around the wily feline as it struggled for dear life. Jack's arms just kept squeezing the animal, pressing the air out of its lungs, as the once dear house pet's eyes began to bulge out of their sockets.
Oh
There
yeah,
came
my
a loud
accent was.
snap. Jack quickly released the creature from his is this Pogo? From his grasp as its
no.
lifelessly furry husk thudded
Hey.
against the ground.
No, not Pogo.
Hey.
There was hushed silence as the two observed the cat's now twisted and mangled corpse. The silence was finally broken by an uproarious laughter coming from Isaac. Oh, okay, you psychotic little shit.
Oh.
Yeah, I told you, it takes a turn immediately into get fuckville.
Oh.
That's so weird.
What the
Wow.
fuck?
I guess cats really don't have 9 lives.
Wow.
Huh.
Wow.
Wow. Isaac
Wow.
exclaimed, nearly teary-eyed from laughter. Laughing Jack began to chuckle as well. Yeah, but won't you get in trouble if your mother finds your neighbor's cat dead in her garden? Isaac's laughter quickly subsided. Oh no, you're right.
His
I'll
sanity
go-
turns back on,
Consequences,
you know, it's
no!
His sanity's like,
Wait.
you know, it comes back for a split second. It's like,
Oh
oh
my
shit, cat's
God.
dead.
I'll just throw it back into the neighbor's yard. Oh yeah, just fucking. Why wouldn't you hide it?
Bury it.
Hide it, burn it. This is the 1800s.
Bury
no
it
one
in
can
the
track you down.
garden.
Burn it. Can claim it was a witch.
Fuck it, have Laughing Jack eat it or some shit. What the fuck, bro?
Oh yeah, true.
Isaac panicked as he grabbed a nearby shovel and scooped up the broken cat cadaver before lobbing it over the face.
Broken cat
Look.
cadaver. What the fuck?
Cadaver.
What kind
Lobbing
of...
it back over the fence into the neighbor's yard.
Cadaver, it's dead. That's what it means.
They quickly went back inside and up into Isaac's room. About an
I
hour
just said
later.
Broken cat's body.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Cadaver.
Chad
Lobbing
Cola.
it over the face.
Chad Cola
Chad.
killed the cat.
About an hour later, it came. The ear-piercing squawk of Isaac's mother shrieking his name from downstairs. Neither Jack nor Isaac said a word as he crept down the stairs, alone to face whatever horrible fate was coming to him. Jack could hear much yelling from
You know what?
downstairs.
With this kid being a fucking psychopath and Jack being like an invisible entity with long arms following him around, is this just Death Note?
Oh!
It's not Death Note though.
Oh.
He's
because
got
the
feathers
fucking-
on his fucking shoulders.
But Ryu can't touch shit.
He
I mean,
can.
very-
Like,
He
oh
can,
wait,
he
oh,
can
yeah,
eat.
oh shit, oh yeah, he can. Sorry, I'm retarded.
Yeah, he can eat the apples and shit.
Can he touch people?
I don't know
Where's
if he
he
can. I mean, I assume he
He never
could, but
did.
they couldn't see
He
him
never
if he
did.
He
did.
can, but they can't tell.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay. Never mind, sorry. I was wrong.
Jack could hear much yelling from downstairs, but couldn't make out what was being said. After about
Why
30
did they
minutes...
suddenly swap perspectives from Isaac to Jack? Isn't this Isaac's story?
Oh, yeah.
We're the like weirdly like unannounced narrator sometimes.
Oh, this is
Very
weird.
weird.
After about
Oh.
30 minutes, a teary-eyed Isaac ascended the stairs back into the room.
Like,
Well?
Jesus.
Jack asked nervously. But he killed the fucking cat. Oh my god. Isaac just starred at the ground.
Starred. He was looking at it starry-eyed. Oh my god, that dead cat. Oh.
It's dead. Isaac just stared at the ground as he spoke. I tried to tell her it was you who hurt the cat. Tried to fucking grass him in, little shit. She didn't
Fucking
believe me.
rat.
Fucking stupid little dobbing him
Fucking
in.
Snitch,
snitch.
snitches.
Fucking
Snitches get
snitches
stitches.
get stitches.
We said
Fucking
it.
bastard.
She didn't believe me. Said you weren't real. Jack frowned, knowing this was all his fault. Should have fucking thought about it before you killed the cat. Like you. Oh my god.
Very weird.
Isaac used his sleeve to wipe away his tears. I'm being sent off to a boarding school. I'm leaving tonight, and you can't come with me. I mean,
They're
good to
sending
get
him
out of that
off to
fucking-
JDC.
Boarding
Oh,
school is
no.
better than being at a fucking abusive household, though. I'm just saying, like that's fine.
It's an upgrade.
Yeah.
I mean,
Laughing
unless
Jack-
it's an abusive boarding school, which back then is actually really highly
True,
likely
true.
to happen.
At
Boarding
least there's
schools
other
would
children
I think
there for him
back
to
then
hang
they
around
would
with.
Yeah, but those kids might be worse than his parents.
They're kids.
I mean,
Kids
to
are
be fair-
cruel.
Parents
kids
are
are-
worse.
Bro, kids are actually fucking cruel.
Okay, but this guy is laughing at dead cats. I think he's the one they should be
Oh
worried
yeah,
about.
no, he's got issues.
Everyone's gonna fucking avoid him.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
fucking see.
He's the weirdo that kills cats. They told us that when you entered the place.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, by the way, this kid murdered a cat, so stay away from him.
Yep.
If
You
if
must
value
stay
your
away
lives at
from
all.
him. He's a bloody cat killer.
Then the girls come around like, oh my god, so misunderstood.
Oh, ugh.
They call him a pussy slayer.
Sea Slayer?
He like owns that title until he realized what it meant.
Laughing Jack's face turned to shock. What? I can't come? Where will I go? Isaac said nothing but pointed over at the beautiful coloured box from where his friend had originated. Back in there? But oh wait, no, that's not his. That's fucking Jack. God, back in there.
Back in there.
I can't do a raspy voice. My fucking chest hurts. But I won't be able to get out until. Jack paused. Isaac looked up as his only friend, with tears streaming down his face, Jack, I promise I'll come back for you as soon as I can. Is this Titanic? I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never...
Your hero.
Jack
There's
looked at the
no
box,
thing I
then-
fear.
then back at Isaac. And I'll be right here waiting for you, Kaido. They spelled kiddo wrong. Jack smiled as a single tear ran down his cheek.
Fucking
Stupid.
messing up his fucking mascara.
Stupid Jack. He never remembered my name.
Kaido. He
Kaido.
walked over to the box and, with a puff of smoke, was sucked back in, unable to be free until once again opened. That night, Isaac was sent off to a boarding school. For the first time, Laughing Jack felt it was like to be lonely. Oh, what it was like to be lonely. Even when trapped in his box, Jack was able to see things going on around it. So each day, he waited for his friend to return, and each day the room grew older and dustier. Toy Story 2, just saying.
Guys,
Laughing and
surely,
Like,
like, he could have taken the box with him. He could have hidden the box in like a bag and taken it with him.
yeah, but story plot had to happen.
Ugh.
Laughing Jack's
That
one
would be
purpose.
too much. That would make too much logical sense.
To be fair,
Yep.
if Laughing Jack just killed a cat, I wouldn't want to bring him with me.
But the kids seem to enjoy that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
the kid
what
was
if
a bit
what if
psychotic as
Laughing
well.
Jack decides to kill someone else and then I get in trouble for it?
The kid doesn't seem to be bothered by that.
What if he
Basically,
moves
though.
up to craving children? I don't want to be framed for murder.
No, why'd you have to say craving children? Why'd you have to pick the word craving?
Um.
Mm.
Moving on.
Laughing
I make
Jack's
the pedo jokes.
Laughing Jack's one purpose was to be Isaac's best friend for life. And now he had to wait day after day, month after month to reunite with his special friend here in the garden. Let's play a game.
No! Stop!
Standing alone as thousands of years go by.
This is literally fucking Spinel. This is
Is
actually
he
Spinel.
gonna come out like fucking like his long spindly arms, fucking like, that's right, I heard the story.
He comes out black and white. He's like, I got a new do.
Oh my god, this is like, so Isaac's like the origin. Fucking abandoned him. Isaac fucking dies and gets reincarnated into like fucking James, and he comes out and like fucking kills
Oh
James.
my god.
It's Steven Universe.
It's actually.
I hate this. I hate this immensely.
Thanks, I hate it.
Voice from now on for him.
Yeah.
To reunite with his special friend, Isaac's parents still lived in the house but never came to the upstairs room. The only time they made their presence known was when Jack would hear them fighting. Still, Jack's life became one of solitude. Yes. Solitude, loneliness, and disappointment. As thousands of years went by. As years went by, Jack's
I
once
stayed
bright...
the same.
Oh my god, it's just Steven Universe! As
Oh,
years
fucking
went
Toy
by...
Story.
So the original Laughing Jack just predicted Spinel's character. I wonder if
Or
I
Rebecca
wonder if
Sugar
Rebecca-
plagiarized it.
She
Fuck, you
plagiarized
stole my
a lot of
joke.
things. She stole anime.
I was about to say that, you
references
dickhead.
As years went by...
She was inspired by this story, of course.
As years went by, Jack's once bright, vibrant colours began to fade into a monochrome blur of pitch black void and stark white emptiness. Trapped all alone. Trapped all
I'm telling
alone.
you, it's plagiarized.
It's fucking Spinel. We found it. We found the Spinel origin. Eternal and hopeless.
Okay,
13.
switch to
Okay.
Jack. This is a good switching point.
Go on, Jack.
Fucking Laughing Jack finally gets out of the box. That's right, I've heard the story.
That's right,
I'm not fucking-
story.
That's right, I heard it! I can't do that with my fucking voice, good lord. Alright, 13 years passed until the night Isaac's father came home particularly drunk and got into an argument with his wife, as per usual. Things escalated to physical violence once again. However, this time, she didn't get back up. Isaac's father had beaten his wife to a dead, bloody pulp and was sentenced to hang at the gallows the next day.
Oh, okay.
With both his parents dead, this meant that the now 21-year-old Isaac inherited the dusty old house he spent the earlier half of his childhood in.
And now he can
Laughing
become
Jack.
Batman.
Laughing Jack was quite surprised when he heard his old friend's footsteps walking up the stairs to the attic room for the first time in 13 years. However, it was not the reunion Jack had hoped for. Isaac looked different. Not only was he older, but he also seemed to possess this odd grim look on his face. No longer was he the hopeful and curious young boy Jack met all those years ago. Jack eagerly awaited Isaac's releasing releasing him from the prison he had waited in for so many years. But still Jack's box sat there, untouched and unnoticed on a shelf in the corner of the room, with all the other dusty, unwanted knickknacks. Isaac had completely forgotten about his old friend, dismissed as some sort of early childhood fabrication. Surprisingly, this made Laughing Jack feel nothing. Impression, nice. It was hollow. 13 years of waiting and disappointment left the monochrome clown void of sorrow and self-pity. Jack remained in his box, colorless, and without emotion. Okay, so Laughing Jack actually has depression. That's very, very
Aw.
tragic.
Representation.
Stop. The next day, Isaac went off to work at his job as an upholster, doing furniture repairs for the good people of London. Jack waited in captivity. Hours later, a drunken Isaac returned home and stumbled up the stairs to his room. But this time, he had a friend with him.
And
boy.
Literally. Literally.
It was a lady friend Isaac had picked up at the bar earlier that evening. She was beautiful, with flowing blonde hair, sapphire blue eyes, and a smile that could make hearts melt. Laughing Jack's attention was drawn to Isaac's guest.
Who is this? A new friend? Why does
Another
Isaac
friend?
need new friends? I thought I was Isaac's only friend.
Jack thought to himself from within his hellish confinement. Oh god, he's getting cucked, isn't he?
Oh,
Isaac
no.
and his lady
Oh, he's
friend
gonna
sat
watch
down on the
something.
bed.
Oh,
Isaac
yeah,
and
this
his
is why I've been quiet.
Isaac and his lady friend sat down on the bed and chatted about life in London. Isaac made a joke about the weather and they both laughed. Laughing Jack hissed with envy over Isaac. He's actually getting cucked. Oh my god.
no.
They hold
Isaac
hands.
and the
Um,
girl looked deeply into each other's eyes as they leaned in for a kiss, locking lips with a passionate swirling of tongues in one another's mouth. Jack was perplexed by this strange display of affection, for he had never seen kissing before. As the kissing grew more intense, Isaac ran his hand along the girl's smooth thigh and up her dress.
Oh, dear
However,
Lord.
his guest just brushed his hand away. Isaac was persistent, though, and once again ran his hand down her smooth thigh and up her skirt, this time placing his hand upon her silky undergarments. The woman took great displeasure with Isaac's sexual advances and pushed Isaac away before delivering a hard smack across his face. Isaac's eyes darkened as he glared at the woman, his once drunken passion turned into booze-fueled anger. The woman's heart sped up as she saw Isaac's face boil with rage. "Stupid whore!" Isaac yelled as he smashed his fist into the girl's face.
Oh.
It'd be so
Jack's
much more
arms-
intimidating if he smashed his face into her face. Like, headbutt. Ugh.
Fucking boo. Laughing Jack's eyes widened as he witnessed the long streaks of red liquid gushing from the girl's nose.
What game is this?
He thought, his eyes a virgin to such violent sights.
You killed a
What?
cat.
What are you talking about? I was literally about to say.
You should have skipped the killing the cat thing if you're gonna make him witness
Yeah.
what it's like to make people bleed.
Wouldn't it be some shit if Isaac was the one who killed the cat and not Laughing Jack? That would have made it a lot more entertaining. Isaac firmly clutched the girl's wrist with one hand as he tore her panties off with the other. The terrified girl tried to fight back, but Isaac was overpowering her. He roughly fondled her breast before savagely
You can
grabbing
skip
her
any
hair.
you can skip any
No,
of the
that's
sexual shit.
grim.
You can skip any of the
Yeah.
sexual shit.
Yeah, I'd okay, fine.
Yeah, I don't care. Any of the sexual shit can be skipped. I don't fucking care. You can skip straight to the murder.
I'm doing this mainly because it fucking give you a strike. Let's see. Jack watched with wide and curious eyes as old friend released his new playmate and clutched his mouth as it filled with warm red blood. The frightened girl fell off the bed and dropped down on the floor as she scurried toward the exit. Isaac quickly lurched forward and was able to catch his fleeing plaything by the end of her dress. Reaching back, he wielded a lead candlestick off the nightstand beside him, and with all his might bashed at the back of the young woman's head, which burst open like a ripe watermelon. Thick blood splattered across the floor as the girl's body convulsed on the ground for several seconds, before going completely still. Blood was everywhere. Some droplets even managed to get on Laughing Jack's box, who was very much enjoying. Okay, shut up, cock. For the first time in 13 long years, a smile began to creep across Laughing Jack's face, and all of a sudden a chuckle escaped his cold lips. Then another, and another, until Jack was cackling and howling with laughter from inside his sealed box.
What a fantastically fantastic game!
Jack thought, as he watched the motionless girl's golden blonde hair flow red with blood. As the adrenaline began to mellow, Isaac realized he had to dispose of the body. He picked up the girl's lifeless corpse and plotted it onto the bed. He then left the room, closing the door behind him and locking it before leaving the house. He returned almost a full day later, and re-entered the room bringing him a metal garbage can and his bag of upholstery tools from work. He then cleared everything off the wooden desk on the wall opposite to the door, and then dragged the bed with bloody corpse into the middle of the room. This not only gave Isaac room to work, but it also gave Laughing Jack a front row seat to the whole spectacle. Jack watched with a big, unfading grin as Isaac played his new game with the soiled corpse. Once Isaac was all set up, he got to work. First, he dumped out the contents of his big black tool bag, jeez I can't read, onto the work table behind him. An assortment of knives, hammers, pliers, and other tools were now laid out before him. His first pick was a curved upholstery knife, which he used to carefully skin the body. That skin... Jeez, this is gonna be graphic, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Oh.
told you, it just completely shifts gears. Like, it
Lord.
starts out as a completely normal story. It's like, hey, it isn't weird enough for you, is it? And then it just
Let's
fucking...
get some violence.
It just goes straight
An
off the
attempted
fucking
rape?
bridge.
My god. That skin was then placed on racks to be stretched and turned into leather.
What?
Once that was in
Why?
place, Isaac then used a handsaw to saw off the arms, legs, and head, disturbing the home of several families of maggots in the process. What?
Where the
what?
maggots
only
coming
been-
from?
Already?
She's only been dead for like 24 hours. She hasn't been dead for like weeks. Learn your fucking dead shit. You love writing fucking graphic death content, May, but you don't know how it actually fucking works. Good job.
Yeah.
After filling the garbage can with bleach and other vile chemicals, he submerged the limbs until the meat was stripped from the bones. I don't think that's how it works. Isaac fished the bones out with the soupy corpse juice and placed them on the work table. Then, in the cover of night, he brought the trash can outside and dumped the rotten remains into the London sewers to be swept away into the harbor.
Yeah, no one thought that was sus.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I love that this story keeps switching between British slang and American slang. Like they had lobbing over a fence earlier,
Yeah.
but now they have bring the trash can outside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it should be trash bin, rubbish
No, it
bin.
It should just be rubbish bin.
A rubbish
Yeah.
bin.
You know the correct way to say it.
Yeah.
For the next 3 days, Laughing Jack watched with wonderment as the inspired Isaac crafted the once human anatomy into a grotesque armchair abomination. Why? The femur was made into the back legs of the chair, while the tibia, with the feet still attached of course, was made into the front chair
You know what
legs.
pisses me off about this origin story for Laughing Jack? He
It's
doesn't do
about him.
anything about he
Yeah.
doesn't do anything involving turning people into furniture. So this whole shit is pointless. It has nothing to do with him at
Yeah.
all. Like him being like someone who deals with sewing and shit, that could explain why his suit would be patchworked or whatever, but it was already
Mhm.
patchworked ahead of time. So literally this serves no fucking purpose and doesn't help Jack at all. Like he
The
could
only
just
thing
be a
that shows
murderer
that
and
Isaac-
not be a weirdo.
This only just shows that Isaac was always just a fucking psychopath, so it's his story, basically. So Laughing Jack is like, oh, by the way, I'm here. Let's see, where was I? Ah, yes. A wooden frame was used for the base and the backing of the chair. However, the rim of the backing was crafted using the spinal column. The arm bones were used as the arms of the chair, nice pun, and were fastened in place by some ribs. The now leathery flesh was sewn onto the seat and backing of the chair, and the golden blonde girl was braided into a lining for the base. Atop this armchair from hell sat the skull that once belonged to the girl who had the golden blonde hair, the sapphire eyes, and the smile that could melt hearts. Nice repetition, but it sucks. Isaac was quite pleased with his work, and Laughing Jack too was impressed by his old playmate's profound creativity. After that night, Isaac never touched another drop of alcohol again, for he now possessed a much more... What's that word?
Macabre.
Macabre, thank you. A much
It's-
more
it-
macabre thirst. Someone else can take over.
Jesse.
Do as you must.
Sorry. Fucking hell. How did I get lost again? I need to stop looking at
In the
Fucking
following
YouTube.
weeks.
in the following weeks. That's it, right? In the following weeks. Why have I? There we go. In the following weeks, Isaac made several improvements to his little workshop of horror. Fuck off. He w-
You better watch out. That's close to getting a lawsuit.
He removed the mattress from the bed to put a row of thick wooden planks in its place. And then he fastened arm and leg restraints to the bottom and sides.
Kinky.
This would.
Someone had to say it, and it was me.
This
Danny,
would mean.
are you gonna be into this guy?
What?
Uh-oh.
No?
Huh?
I said,
Huh?
are you into this guy?
I just made a kink joke.
Okay, I'm just
What?
being sure.
You and Jack make pedo jokes the whole time. The minute I make a sex joke, it's about me and my my sexual preferences. Wow.
No, I'm just asking.
I was gone for
No.
a split second. What happened?
Uh,
What have I missed?
Dylan's being
I
sexist
was being,
again. Help me.
I was being sure Danny
Hypocrisy.
wasn't into the weirdo kid, he fucking murderer guy.
hypocrisy is what's happening, everyone. Anyway. Moving on. I've completely lost my place again. Fuck, I'm dying. This would mean that he would be able to entertain his guests for a longer period without them trying any rude escape attempts.
Oh,
Isaac
fastened
needed-
arm and leg restraints. Okay, never mind. Okay, I see where you made the joke.
Yeah.
Go on.
You people. Isaac
Mhm.
needed only one final thing before planning another grotesque party. He worked on it for a week straight, hand carving it out of wood. After a coat of white paint was applied, Isaac's creation was complete. It was a wooden mask, resembling something one would wear at a Venetian,
Venetian.
masquerade ball.
What does this have to do with anything?
Where's
Who
Laughing Jack?
He wears
He's
a mask.
watching.
Fucking what was Isaac the Killer starring fucking Laughing Jack? That's what this story
Yeah.
is.
The murdering of Isaac.
Isaac the Killer, featuring Laughing Jack.
Yeah.
Special guest Laughing Jack.
It had a furrowed, long. Oh, for God's sake! It had a furrowed brow and a long troll-like nose.
Yes, Laughing Jack is still locked in the box.
By the way.
And would allow him to strike fear in the hearts of his beloved guest. With his new face complete, it's the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh no, it's Jeff the Killer. My new face.
And the room transformed into a bloody murder nest. It was finally time for Isaac Lee Grossman to bring home a new playmate.
That's his fucking name. Are
That
you
name
serious?
is
Isaac
gross,
Lee
man.
Grossman.
Isaac Le Grossman. That's
The
so
Grossman.
stupid.
Le Grossman.
Le Grossman.
That following night, a Laughing Jack. What? I don't know what I'm doing. Watched as the masked Isaac Grossman stomped up the stairs, carrying with him a large burlap sack and his newest guest writhing within.
Damn,
dumped-
he's fucking strong.
You just run around
Oh.
catching women in nets.
Oh no!
don't think it's a
no!
woman.
No!
It's not a
no!
woman.
Oh no, we got to the kitty
No.
part. I already let it slip
No.
earlier that he does that. Oh no.
Oh.
Oh, he dumped the bag out on his torture bed and out plopped. Right, again, it's slipping to British slang and fuck.
But if he
Uh,
grabbed a kid, what was even the point of the restraints? I'm assuming he intended the restraints to be for an adult.
I I don't know, Dylan. I'm not questioning the
Are they
physics at this
adjustable? Like,
point.
what was that
That's what I'm
specified?
saying. Like they didn't
Guys,
matter.
we're
specify.
not
matter.
questioning this.
I'm questioning this.
This is
Ugh.
nasty.
He dumped the bag out on his torture bed and out plopped a bound, gagged, and very frightened young boy.
Oh no.
Probably
only a kid.
only 5 or 6 years old. Isaac quickly undid the boy's bindings and held him down as he restrained.
Okay, so
His hands
I'll give you this, Jesse. You can just say the kid died and skip over the entire torture
The
scene.
end.
Do you guys want that though? Or
You can.
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't want to fucking hear
You
this
could say
shit.
the kid died. He killed the kid, and then just
You
skip
vile-
over all of it.
Oh, there's a lot. Hang on, I'll tell you where to go to.
Oh,
You go
Why
to the
is this so
child's eyes
fucking
filled
long?
with tears. It's just it's where it ends, kind of. Just go to
Where
the
does it
child's
end?
eyes. The child's eyes filled
Oh,
with
right,
tears
yeah.
one final time. It's still a bit brutal
I
there, but
think
it's
they're gonna
avoiding
just
the
put
rest of
that.
it.
right. The child's
This
eyes
is
filled with tears one final time as Isaac began to carve the skin off the boy's face. But to Isaac's surprise, the boy still clung to life.
Oh,
The
it's still no,
mutilated
he's still
child-
alive. Hang on, no, he's still alive. Hang
Still
on, wait, let me.
This
No.
is a resilient child.
Me, shit, he's still alive. Fuck. Go to.
Okay, from across the room. Yeah, from across the room. There you go.
Huh?
Yeah, he
Laughing
smashed it
Jack
over and over,
Lee
and then
briefly
like it's.
absorbed, yeah.
Yes. He smashed it over and over until it was nothing but a bloody carved-in mass of flesh, pouring with thick red blood and oozing out chunks of brain matter. From across the room, Laughing Jack gleefully observed the grand finale, which had lived up to his expectations quite wonderfully.
Okay, let's
Shut up,
switch to
Peter.
Danny.
Oh sweet, I want to do a top
Oh, great,
Right,
so-
let's go.
Fair enough then. I had to skip most of mine.
I don't want to. No, but this was a lot of kids. I have lots of fun with people.
Oh, come on!
What?
I just read the other fucking. Oh, the next paragraph. you're
Don't
gonna
read
fucking
ahead.
read.
Don't read ahead.
All right, let me
This
just
is
see. I will decide.
foul.
I will decide how foul it
This
is. I
is
am
I
Wow.
so proud of
told
all
you
of us.
this story was bad and edgy.
Isaac's next guest was a blind old woman whom he had invited over for some tea. How could she see the tea? And also, how is she still alive in the 1800s? Anyway,
It wasn't
took her almost-
actually tea, it was just water. That was the prank, bro.
maybe. It took her almost 5 minutes to realize the chair she was sitting on was crafted using human remains, but she's blind.
How could she
And
ever
another six-
realize it?
And another 6 minutes to
touching it?
find the stairs, only to topple down them, flailing and screaming like a loon. Isaac decided to end the cruel joke there with a simple ice pick through her eye socket. What?
That would. Okay.
What?
A very ironic way to kill someone.
That's the
Okay.
most random death. Oh, she sat in a chair and then went down the stairs and died. Cool. bro.
Yeah.
So,
I thought this
I like
scene
something
was
cool.
cool, so I put it in the story. That's it. The end.
It's just to give Isaac a body count.
Yeah.
After that, oh no. After that, he brought over a little girl whom he had force-fed broken glass before using her stomach as a punching bag. How does that work?
We're not
I don't know, but
questioning
this
the
author
physics of
is
it anymore.
this author is venting a lot of stuff right now.
It's not even like the okay. I think
What's
it is
this
the author
guy's name
venting.
again?
Snuff bomb. He's
Well,
You have
what's his
problems,
what's
man.
his name and location and phone number?
You have fucking problems.
He-
I
he
hope
was
to
a- he
God
was
you're not in a
definitely-
fucking relationship.
IP address.
I think what it is venting probably, but also like he just thought what sounds edgy and then combined it with like a child. Like it's
God,
Not
this is like genuinely fucking foul.
foul and it's not even realistic.
I
That's
thought
the
when like
least-
Dylan told us, where he's like, "Oh, this story's bad," I thought he meant it's just like badly written.
No.
Like, fucking Jeff the
Boring.
Killer
It's
shit.
the
No,
same
like, no,
author.
This story is just sick. This is
Yeah.
horrid.
As the weeks
Yeah.
went by, more and more unlucky souls
Seek
met their
help.
end in Isaac Grossman's attic, and as the mad Grossman's personality became more dark and sadistic, Laughing Jack's personality followed suit while he rotted within his dusty box. Oh yeah, because doesn't like Laughing Jack like what he likes? Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's also, can I just say, he's
Oh,
really
got
proud
it.
of that last name he came up with because he's mentioning it every sentence.
Yeah,
now.
Get
exactly.
it? Gross man, because he's a gross man.
This man is gross.
Because what I'm writing is fucking disgusting.
Until one
Fuck
very
you.
cold December night. Oh, whoa. The rusty nails that were holding up the shelf of forgotten knickknacks finally gave way, and the whole thing plummeted to the ground. Isaac heard the loud thud from downstairs and decided to climb up to the attic to investigate. He walked across the blood-stained wood floor of the attic, over toward the fallen shelf. Isaac brushed aside some of the trinkets that broke in the crash when he finally came across the jack-in-the-box from his childhood. Isaac barely recognized the old tattered box as he picked it up and blew off some of the dust. Then, for whatever nostalgic reason, he decided to grasp the box's rusty crank and begin turning it. A horribly off-key Pop Goes the Weasel clanked from the worn-out old box. And as it reached its climax, Isaac sung along with the final verse. Pop goes the weasel. The top of the box swung open, but nothing happened. It was empty, just like my soul. Isaac expected as much, and he...
Like my stomach, yep.
Yep, now, yeah.
Like my
Isaac
brain,
expected... And like the spirit in the story, anyway. Isaac
Hey.
expected as much, and he tossed the old box in the garbage with the other broken knickknacks. After the mess was cleaned up, he went to open the door to go back downstairs, but it was stuck. Isaac pulled hard, but the door wouldn't budge. Just then, he heard the most horrible raspy voice call out from behind him. Isaac! Isaac, I can't do it. A cold jolt. Cold.
Colt.
Colt?
All of these streams are just fucking inside jokes, I swear to God.
No,
I'm
don't
sorry,
worry about
chat.
it. A cold jolt ran down Isaac's spine, and the hairs on the back of his neck stood straight up as he slowly turned around. All the way across the room by the garbage can stood the nightmarish Laughing Jack. He was completely monochrome. His mangled black hair hung down in twisted locks. Sharp, jagged teeth decorated his twisted grin, and his arms hung down like a ragdoll with his grotesquely long fingers nearly scraping the floor. Then, with a bone-chilling, raspy voice, the fiendish clown spoke. How nice it is to finally be free!
10,000 years.
Did you
Well,
miss me?
you're
Isaac?
such a
Crick
crick
in the neck.
Did you miss me, Isaac? Isaac was paralyzed in fear. But I thought you weren't real. Imaginary? Isaac stuttered. Jack replied with a long and horrifying cackle. Oh, I'm quite
Fucking
real,
Mike.
kiddo! They spelled kiddo right this time, piece of shit. Maybe he learned while he was at
learned.
the fucking box
Yeah, he
for
learned.
13 years.
Oh, it's Kiddo.
Not Kaido.
Yeah.
I learned to read. In
You probably
fact-
learned that from Isaac.
Mm. Oh god. In fact, I've been waiting such a long time for this day to finally come. When I can play with my best
Oh,
friend for
no.
life.
That's right,
Why?
I heard the stories over and
That's
over
right.
again.
One last time! Before Isaac couldn't reply. Oh no, before Isaac could reply, Jack's long arm stretched across the room and wrapped around Isaac's legs. He's fucking Spinel! He is fucking Spinel, like literally. Oh
Who
my
am
God.
I? Who am I?
What are you even saying?
I'm the
That's what's the-
loser of the game you didn't know you were playing.
Odd.
My
It's just
fucking
Let's
hurting
God.
play
my soul.
another game. This time I get to win.
Literally!
Ready or not, let's begin.
Life on the line. Life on the line.
Mm.
Winner takes all.
Ready or not,
Let's-
let's begin.
The twisted
Please tell
clown
me
began.
Rebecca Sugar did not go through a creepypasta
I
phase.
tell you,
Please
she
tell me
ripped off
all
Laughing
the other
Jack.
shit she
Please
does.
tell me she didn't.
After all
This
the
is
other
literally
shit she's
Spinel.
done.
Bro, I
After
have
all the
such
other
fucking
shit
little
she
face.
has done,
Stop.
The
I
fact
wouldn't
that
put it
Spinel
past
is
her.
also
Oh my
stretchy.
This actually
twist-
fucking hurts.
The
I feel
twist-
pain.
Nah. The twisted clown began pulling him closer, dragging him onto his own wooden torture bed as Isaac's fingernails scraped along the floor. Ignoring the restraints, Jack swiftly grabbed 4 3-inch long iron nails from the workbench and pressed them straight through of Isaac's hands and feet,
Uh,
nailing him to the wooden torture bed. Isaac growled in pain. Oh yeah, just growling.
He just
yeah.
growled. He just fucking
Oh, that kind
growled.
of hurts, bro. Ugh.
He
Ugh.
liked it.
Oh. Isaac growled in pain.
or anything.
as he shouted at his captor, "Ah, fuck you, goddamn clown-nosed freak!" That's not what a British person sounds like. They don't say goddamn.
No.
Laughing Jack just chuckled as he forcibly held Isaac's head in place, stating, "If you can't say something nice, then don't say it at all." Jack reached his long, crooked fingers into Isaac's mouth, firmly grasping his tongue and stretching it out as far as it could go. Oh, this echoes back to the other story. The clown then reached back and grabbed a long, sharp knife from the table and slowly began to slice through the meat of Isaac's tongue. Woo. Once lobbed off, Isaac's mouth
Oh, for
began to
God's
open.
sake.
I know.
That is the only thing they know. That is the main fucking bit of slang they
Once
know. They have
lobbed off,
overused it.
Isaac's mouth began to overflow with blood. Jack responded by shoving a small cylindrical metal tube through Isaac's throat to act as a temporary breathing hole.
He would have been dead by now, cutting off the tongue and not cauterizing it.
The tongue, I'm not so sure, but the breathing hole, I don't see how that works. At this point, Isaac was already in great pain and had his eyes clenched shut to avoid seeing the sickening horrors that were being performed upon his body. I mean,
Would
you
you want
feel
them
them, though.
open though?
What
Like
Huh?
you're getting off to this, so why wouldn't you want him to see it?
no, he clenched his eyes shut.
Oh, well, why doesn't he open them?
Maybe we'll. He might.
Oh,
he
yeah, he's
might.
probably
No, he
doing
does. He actually.
Okay.
Does. Hang on. Come on, it's no fun if you don't watch. Laughing Jack said playfully, but Isaac kept his eyes tightly shut. Laughing Jack sighed.
Suit yourself.
Jack then forcibly held open one of Isaac's eyes. He reached back with his big arm and took out some long, pointy fishing hooks from the workbench. Slowly, Jack pushed the sharp end of the hook through the top eyelid, straight through the
Oh.
bottom of the eyebrow, and out the top, permanently pinning it open. Then he took out a second hook, pushing it through the bottom eyelid and pinning it to the cheek. Jack repeated the process to the other eye, and before long, a series of sharp metal hooks made sure Isaac didn't miss out on any of the
See,
action.
If I
His eyes
didn't,
would have been dried up and dead.
if I didn't know Isaac was already gonna die, I would be like, "This is the origin to Isaac the Killer, the
I
man
was
with
gonna
the,
say, this,
fish
this
hook
next bit
eyelids.
especially, Jeff the Killer, all over
the
it.
fishhook eyelids, the fucking tongue ripped out."
It's the mouth that's
He comes
coming
up to you and
Carry
goes,
on.
That's what he
"Got his head."
No, sleep.
Laughing Jack then took the same knife he had used to lob off Isaac's tongue and
Oh,
began to
for
focus
fuck's
on the removal of Isaac's lips. See, Jeff the Killer!
I just gonna
Jack-
say.
Jack carefully sliced two long strips of flesh off of Isaac's upper and lower mouth, causing his teeth and gums to be completely exposed.
By the
Uh,
way,
Where is
Yeah?
your accent going?
Isaac's not screaming in pain.
I mean,
Not throughout any of this. Bro, I don't
I mean-
care how I don't care how mentally fucked you are. That shit's going to hurt.
I know they could probably say like it's the excuse of the tongue and the thing in his throat, but you'd still be reacting. Like he's not reacting at
Yeah.
all. There's no like squirming, thriving,
Sitting there like
crying.
a fucking lemon, just going like.
I'm sure if he was
Muted.
I'm sure if he was a kid or a woman, they'd describe how much pain he was in.
Yeah.
Looks like someone hasn't been flossing regularly. They didn't floss in the 1800s, I'm pretty sure.
At all.
Laughing Jack cackled under his breath as he reached back and grabbed the hammer. Isaac attempted to mutter some kind of beg for
Where are
mercy.
you going with your accent?
That's my
Never
natural
mind
accent,
me.
you bitch!
Not even.
It actually fucking is, but oh.
No.
However, only a gurgled moans escaped his throat. Jack raised the hammer into the air, and with a
He
twisted
talks to Jack and he's like, "But we're friends. This is the end, friend." Fucking
Oh.
kills him.
grin, oh,
What am I doing?
he slammed it down, giving off a loud crack as the iron hammer shattered Isaac's teeth like brittle clay. Jack dropped the hammer and began to howl with laughter as he tore open Isaac's shirt. Ooh,
Oh my.
taking the. Oh my.
At any point that you want to, you can skip the gore, because at this point it's
my.
just become excessive, and I think we understand.
Okay, but I'm reading and I like gore. Taking
Okay.
the sharpest knife, Jack cut and also Isaac deserves this, so I'm enjoying Isaac's getting his little
Getting what
suffering
he
moment.
fucking deserves, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Taking the sharpest knife, Jack cut straight down Isaac's chest, all the way down past the stomach. Isaac groaned with sharp, stinging pain. He's just groaning and growling, and not that much pain. As the
Because you're
monochrome
not.
monster wormed his wretched fingers underneath the skin. on Isaac's chest, peeling it back as he was about to perform his horrible live autopsy.
My chest is fucking shriveling thinking of that.
But he deserves it. First, Jack began to pull out Isaac's intestines in the same manner a magician would pull out a series of colourful cloths out of his pocket. Then, after
What?
snipping off a small length of intestines, he would be dead. Jack pressed one end against his cold black lips and began blowing air into the foul organ.
Would
What?
break. It's
He'd be
no.
fucking dead at this point. Once inflated, he twisted it up into the shape of a poodle. What? He'd be fucking dead. And with it's not got that much elasticity, I'm pretty sure. And with a loud chuckle exclaimed, I could do giraffes too! Isaac remained still in pain and shock. Wow, just pain? Cool.
He would have at the
As-
very least passed out by now.
You've been like vomiting his own shit up or whatever, like, come on.
Yeah.
As the clown creature gently placed a macabre balloon beside Isaac's head, that's his intestine, it's out, he's fucking, oh my god. For his next trick,
Dead.
Laughing Jack
For his
reached deep-
next trick.
For his next trick,
Trick?
Laughing Jack reached deep into Isaac's open stomach cavity and yanked out one of his kidneys. Okay, this is Eilish Jack
This is
now.
going to the
No,
black
I think
market.
I think this is actively making a reference to it, because look at the next line.
Holding it in his hand, Jack turned to the captive friend and shrugged, stating that
Fiend?
kidneys really aren't my thing. Oh yeah, that's,
See what I
the
mean?
other Jack. That's Eilish Jack.
That's the beta Jack.
Can't believe it took a
version.
jab at a fucking less popular creepypasta.
Eilish Jack wasn't less popular.
Yes, it was. Laughing
I
Jack
read
was
it.
Laughing Jack was on top.
No.
Yeah.
People, no. Reading wise, Eilish Jack was higher, but design wise, Laughing Jack took it. That was how it was.
Okay, because I
No one
heard
actually,
people
no one
talk.
actually read Laughing Jack really because it was
Wow,
bullshit.
I heard everyone talking about Laughing Jack. Eyeless Jack came later, and he was just kind of there.
Nah,
his
I
story
remember
isn't
Eilish
even
Jack being
region.
earlier.
His story isn't even that memorable.
The kid stole kidneys. I remember it.
That's lame.
It's not. He's doing it right now.
He said that's not his thing.
Oh, guys, I need the bathroom.
Go
Okay,
for
let-
it.
I'm gonna keep reading while she does that.
Oh,
Tossing the
thanks.
organ. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna power
Fine.
through I'm
I'll
powering
see you
through
in a
this shit.
second. Hang on.
Right, let's get real gory now. Tossing the organ aside, Laughing Jack noticed that Isaac was beginning to drift to death. I'm sorry, it's Steven Universe. Feeling tired already? Why, we're nearly at the grand finale. Laughing Jack exclaimed as he reached into his sleeve and pulled out a long adrenaline needle? This ought to perk you right up. Are these a thing? Were
Adrenaline
needles a-
needles?
Never heard of them. Like, at least not back then.
I mean, you can pump people full of adrenaline. It's usually used to like get people's heart racing if like it's starting to flatline. But
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't think they would have it back then. It takes a greater understanding of the human body to figure out that type of shit.
Yeah, none of us work in the medical field, so take
Oh,
that
hang
with
on,
a
this-
pinch of
this-
salt.
This is getting stupider. This is definitely not right. This ought to perk you right up, Jack shouted as he slammed the needle into Isaac's retina and injected the liquid into his right eye socket.
I don't think that's how
I'm
it
pretty sure it
works.
doesn't go there. I'm pretty sure it doesn't go there.
Nah.
His eye just starts becoming really fucking active and just flays out.
Just flailing around like a...
Jacksepticeye. Jack wiggled and twisted the needle. Oh! Jack wiggled and twisted the needle further into his old playmate's eyeball. And as Isaac was reeled back into life to the feeling of a sharp needle scraping the back of his eye socket. With a sinister chuckle, Jack yanked the needle out, pulling the eyeball out with it. Oh, okay, really is
What?
Jacksepticeye. Isaac's right eye now hung out of its socket by the eye stalk as it dribbled down the side of his face. Jack smirked. Well, now that I have your full attention. The insidious clown then took his long, crooked index finger and poked a hole in Isaac's stomach.
You didn't
Jack
have
lo-
to say it like that.
I didn't-
No, you didn't. No,
Shut up. Jack lowered his head down towards the open chest cavity and stretched his mouth open wide. Okay, it's writing itself at this point. Within seconds, a torrent of filthy
I'm
cockroaches
back.
started
Cock?
crawling.
Chelsea goes right back to cock.
Cock? Did I
It's
get
Danny being horny.
I'm not being horny. The
Jesse
story is
comes
actively
back.
being horny.
Jesse comes back and immediately hears cock.
cock?
Filthy cockroaches started crawling out of the clown's gullet, spilling onto Isaac's open chest. Each vile roach crawled and pushed
Yes,
its way into
pour it
the small
into my
opening in Isaac's
chest.
mouth, stomach, filling it from
Oh,
within.
my chest.
Filling it from within full of disgusting, writhing bugs. As his stomach became bloated with bugs, the roaches began to scurry up his throat, squeezing their way out of his mouth and nasal cavity. Cool. Isaac was inches from death. Now?
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless
That's the
you.
bugs coming out of her nose.
As am I. I am also close to death.
Isaac was inches from death when his captor kneeled beside him and spoke into his ear. It's been a blast, Kaido!
Sorry.
Did it again! Kaido! But it looks like our time together is about up. No need for tears, though, because I plan to spread my friendship to all of the
He's
kids
like,
of the
he's
world.
like, the names.
Say that.
He's like, the
His
names.
entire-
He's like, my name's Isaac.
I plan to spread my friendship, spread the word.
Read the word! And with that said, Laughing Jack reached into Isaac's chest and yanked out his still beating heart. Of course he fucking did!
And he
Just to be
said,
That's what kills
extra.
him.
he said, go to sleep.
He watched Indiana Jones. As his life bled out on that cold wooden bed, Isaac's life flashed before his eyes, of course it did. He saw his mother, his father, the boarding school that we never heard about, his victims, and the last thought that fluttered through his mind was of that very special Christmas, where he woke up to find the beautifully hand-carved wooden box that contained his very first friend. There are rumors that, when the police finally found Isaac Grossman's rotten, maggot-infested corpse weeks later on Christmas Eve, that even though his face had been bashed and torn to bits, he almost looked happy.
How would you know? His face is fucking.
His
His
amazing.
face is fucking gone. He's got no tongue or anything. The fuck?
He's got no
Got no
lips.
lips.
Yeah, exactly. Was it carved into a fucking smile? Was Jeff the Killer there? to
It was
finish the job?
literally Jeff the Killer.
Just like a-
actually.
No, it wasn't
No
Jeff
wonder
the killer. It was fucking Nina the killer. And she's like, I've been
No.
framed again.
No wonder Laughing Jack and Jeff the Killer were constantly shipped together. Like
Okay, so what did you think of the origin of Laughing Jack?
one.
edgy.
This guy, yeah, Jesus fucking Christ.
He's got skeletons in his closet, and he's got no ability to write. So
Yep.
There's a reason he had drama back in the day and then fucked off.
yeah,
This guy, Jesus fucking Christ. Tone it down a little bit.
So
We
what?
went from fucking like, oh, it's kind of cool to just fucking torture porn. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
So what I have to say is that the first story was already teetering on being too much gore, but the first story kind of ropes you back in with the possibility of it not being real. So it has like a psychological horror aspect to it. But the second story not only insists that this shit is real, it doubles down on all of the worst aspects of the first story. So
Guys, oh sorry, carry on.
it's the first story, but twice as long, twice as gory, and twice as fucking terrible. That's it. That's all I had to say, though.
Can I just say, I'm reading some of the comments under it, reviewing it, and they are fucking hilarious. Scary liked it, but Scary, I was cry when the cat died.
Oh my god.
One of them is like in capital letters, and it has that old Rinmaru avatar, anime avatar maker, Danny, that we used to use.
Ugh.
And it says, I want to cry. Isaac was a jerk. He didn't even think to check. I'm sorry. I feel very emotional and I really want to give LJ a huge hug. Huge hug. Apparently he is supposed to be the creepypasta that watches over me, so I feel a very close kinship to him.
Oh no. We
Oh
got
my
empath.
god.
God.
Okay.
I empathize with his cause.
Okay. So, do you think that this week was better than the fucking Sonic.exe weeks?
Yes.
Well-
Yeah.
There was actually things happening. Like, even though it was gory and like a
True,
bit
true.
disturbing, at least I felt something.
Yeah. I'd
Okay.
rather feel disgust than boredom.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's the note to leave this off on. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Sorry that it was on Saturday. Everyone here is dying. Hopefully, we'll be alive next week to do this again. And unfortunately, we will be reading Sonic.exe again.
What? Still?
Yes, back to EXE land.
Unless you want to go back to Blank the Killer.
No, we have to finish EXE.
We have to.
Okay, bye guys.
Night
Bye,
night.
chat.
See ya.